Hello, Jeff here, and I'm going to talk in this video about the possible connection between heavy metal overload and epilepsy or seizures. This is a topic that I don't really see come up in many epilepsy support groups, but I think it's very relevant because the connection between heavy metal overload directly impacts different neurotransmitters and the nervous system. So in this video, we're going to dive into this topic and see maybe how to do a heavy metal detox if it's right for you, and talk a little bit about my story with heavy metal detox. Okay, thank you. At its core, epilepsy involves excessive neuronal firing, which means the brain is too excited and cannot cope. This is tied closely with two types of neurotransmitters that need to be in balance, and if they are not, they will cause a seizure. The first neurotransmitter is glutamate, the brain's main excitatory neurotransmitter. Second, the brain's main calming neurotransmitter. And modern epileptic drugs work at reducing glutamate and increasing GABA, and they also work on the sodium ion pathways in the brain. And you may know this yourself. Interestingly enough, heavy metals also can accumulate in the brain and mess with the GABA and glutamate, also accumulating in the nervous system, causing tons of issues, which is a real issue that many people don't really address. And it's not until recently that this has been more widespread. Heavy metals include things like arsenic, mercury, aluminum, lead, and can be found in all sorts of conventional products that people use, from pots and pans to water that's not really filtered to geoengineering potentially. And they accumulate in the body over a lifetime. So we can't expect to detox them right away, but they can be dealt with to help relieve the nervous system and come back to balance. So let's get into that. Which brings me to the neurotoxin overload theory. Some people, such as Dr. Klinghardt, suggest that many neurological and nervous system issues could be caused by the accumulation of heavy metals, causing blockages, not having things fire correctly. The thing about metals is the body cannot deal with them well, which may be one of the reasons why there is a parasite epidemic that not many people are talking about. Because parasites will clean up metals. Also, mold will break down metals. So if you have metals in the body, that means you likely have parasites. But the thing is, the parasites could be helping you. Isn't that strange? But you have to live with the worm. So to treat the metals, you have to treat parasites, maybe at a different time. What I like about the neurotoxic overload theory is that it's different than the medical model that most people are given, that they have a genetic issue or it's mysterious. When you look into different theories of epilepsy, there are many different factors into why people could be having seizures, not just a mysterious thing. For me, the neurotoxic overload theory makes sense, and which is why I did many rounds of heavy metal detox and eventually got off my medication and have been 7 years seizure-free, in which I'm really driven to show people, or at least share some insights into the path to becoming seizure-free. And yeah, this makes sense. According to the neurotoxic overload theory, seizures may just be a response to the stress and blockages in the body, not something genetic, that all the factors are coming together and it's not working, so the body's resetting. So if you have epilepsy and want to do a heavy metal detox, there are certain things you need to know. As with anything, there's a process of binding the metals where you can take something like bentonite clay or chlorella at a different time before medications. This is generally considered safe. And these will bind the metals in the in circulation in the gut and help clean up the circulating metals. Binders won't necessarily go into your brain and take out metals. For that, you would need pharmaceutical chelators or something such as a cilantro tincture or modified citrus pectin, fulvic and humic acid, and just lots of things to consider. But yeah, there is hope. There is a way to detox effectively, but it's important that our organs of elimination are working properly. If the gut is backed up, you can't detox metals because the metals are pulled into the gut. So your gut needs to be in order. You need to have a clean gut, and your organs of elimination, such as your kidneys, your liver, your skin, your lymphatic system, need to be working well. You can't detox what you can't drain. So if your plumbing system, your body is unable to detox, you can't really detox heavy metals, which is why it's important to activate the organs of elimination through different practices before beginning any heavy metal detox. And these are just some things to consider for someone with epilepsy or seizures, just to learn about the subject. Also noting that for people with epilepsy, correct mineral balance is very important. Studies were done finding that people with epilepsy had lowered magnesium, zinc, and B6 with or without medication. Just people with having seizures had that. So it's something to consider and look into. If you are interested in doing a heavy metal detox or a parasite cleanse and you have epilepsy or seizures, I am totally open to working and supporting you in the process. Let me know, and you can click the link below.